Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is the moonmothgoddess. Thank you guys so much for being here, your continued love and support on the channel. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, I'd also encourage you to check out my second tarot channel, Neptune's Child Tarot, where I do have additional readings posted. And more of the readings on the other channel are more self-focused. So everything about career, spirituality, healing, ancestors, whatever is not having to do with love. We're more on the channel here. We have love readings that we mostly focus on. I do have a playlist filled with other readings, but the other channel I created specifically for those of you that want to kind of work on yourself and kind of get some guidance there as well. So you want to check out that one if you haven't already. So today's pick a card reading, we are, this is especially for the singles, okay, is what we're focusing on today. So those of you that are single and looking for love, I chose some Oracle and Tarot today to do this reading for you to get some advice from Spirit on your love life. Especially for those of you that are single and looking for love, okay? Maybe you've been feeling that there's been some blockages or you haven't been really meeting or connecting with the right people, and you're maybe feeling a little bit frustrated. So we're going to get some guidance for those of you that are in that place energetically, maybe still healing from past connections, things of that nature. So I'm just kind of leaving it open for Spirit to give you some guidance on your love life, those of you that are single and looking for love. We do have 4 piles today. So pile number 1, you are going to be this one here, and your top card here is the Forest Walker, and it says keep courage and be gentle, and that is with this very dark green fancy jasper. That is for pile 1. Pile number 2, you have the Spiny Sister, and it says take pride in yourself, and that is with this red jasper for pile 2. Pile number 3, you have the Fairy Harper, and it says find the words to long forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul, and that is with this yellow jasper here. Okay, so the Fairy Harper. And then pile number 4, you have the Mandragora Mother, and that is with this carnelian, and your card says find the secrets hidden in the brambles. Okay, so that is going to be for pile number 4. If you do feel drawn to more than one pile for this reading, that is perfectly okay. We're getting advice from Spirit on your love life, those of you that are single and looking for love. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, timestamps will be down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile 1. So those of you that are single and looking for love, we're getting some advice from Spirit today on your love life. So we are starting off with your little message here that says the Forest Walker, keep courage and be gentle. And that is with your little fancy jasper. So let's first bring out your tarot, and then we will look at your oracle messages here as well. So let's see, what is your advice on your love life, those of you that are single and looking for love? We have Moonlight, okay, which is the Moon card. We have the 5 of Spells, which is the 5 of Wands. We also have the 8 of Visions, which is the 8 of Cups. We also have Suspension, which is the Hanged Man. And then we also have the 2 of Wands. Okay, so really with this energy here, I'm kind of seeing as that Spirit's advice and guidance to you is for a change or a shift in perspective that is needed with regard to your love life. Because I feel like many of you that are feeling in this pile are feeling very challenged, okay, with the 5 of Wands energy here. And it could be certain conflicts that are kind of arising within you. And I feel like a lot of it may tie into this moon energy, okay? The moon can bring in confusion, clouded judgment, irrational thinking that can create the confusion for us, okay? So with the 5 of Wands, that can create a lot of conflict where we are feeling very challenged, either with meeting and connecting with people who are maybe say conflicting ideas about what they want for romantic connection versus what you want as well. Okay, so with the Two of Wands energy here, this is kind of where we're needing to choose a path, choose a direction, and how we choose to move forward in our love life. Okay, I am seeing you do have the Eight of Cups energy here. So the Eight of Cups is about letting go of things that do not serve. Okay, the card is about emotional abandonment, emotional withdrawal, detachment. Okay, so this may be letting go of people, and sometimes it's difficult for us, right, to walk away or to let go or to move on from situations that are not really working, right? Things that are not clear. We have doubts in our mind, and sometimes that conflict can sometimes put us in a place where we stay in situations longer than they're useful, or we find ourselves trying to make something work when it's not really working for us. Okay, so with the Eight of Cups, this is Spirit's guidance for you to be able to acknowledge when it is time to let go, when it is time to pull back your energy from someone who is not really bringing forth the right energy for you, right? So that Hangman can sometimes be helping us to take a step back and to really kind of look at a situation from a higher perspective. Okay, the Two of Wands is about us having to make a choice, right? A decision, and really kind of deciding which one is going to be the best. The Hangman also helps us in working towards letting go. Okay, now those of you that there is no one that you are currently connected to and you are just single, there's no one around, no one you're holding on to, then I would say more or less this is about you with the Eight of Cups energy here, working on discovering yourself, finding yourself, and finding out what it really is that's super important to you in terms of your desires and in terms of your needs in a relationship, which can be very different. Okay, sometimes what we desire in love can look, I'm just going to kind of throw examples out there, you know, and I'll give myself as an example. When I was still dating, I felt like I needed to have a person that was a particular nationality. They needed to be of a certain height. They needed to be like all of these different things that I wanted. And that's all I was looking for. I don't want to date anybody else. This is my type, and that's it. If you were anything other than my list of things that I desired, you're out, right? I wasn't even going to pay attention to you. And I had to learn that I had to really work towards changing my perspective towards what it is that I need in a relationship, what I need a partner to be. Right? Which is, let's just say, a person who knows how to regulate their emotions, someone who knows how to be compassionate, someone who is a good listener, right? Someone who knows how to move through conflict versus at the first sign of trouble and they just ghost, right? So those are the things that I needed in a partner, right? Those weren't the things that I desired. I wasn't even thinking about that, right? Didn't care what kind of issues they had going on or anything like that. So I had a lot of unsuccessful dating life partnerships that I went through, and a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, a lot of definitely lessons that I had to learn, and also have to boost up my own self-esteem, my own level of confidence, and to learn how to set boundaries. Okay, so with that Eight of Cups for you, especially if you've been single for a little while, it is really taking some time to deep dive into the self, okay? To really kind of learn about yourself and what it is that you truly need, right? Along, yes, with sometimes the desires that are there that we have, but what do you need from love? What do you need from a partner, okay? And I feel like also clearing away any type of irrational fears that you have about connecting with people, right? That really helps you with changing or shifting perspective to kind of choose a new direction, choose a new path moving forward, that I'm no longer going to bring fears with me. I'm no longer going to bring insecurities. I'm no longer going to, feel that I shouldn't date this person because I don't know where it's going, right? The moon is all about things that are hidden, things that are being concealed. The moon can also talk about a lot of suppressed feelings and emotions, right? So these are things that we also need to work towards bringing to the surface so that we can heal them and release them. Okay, and sometimes we do need to do that inner work and take time for solitude to reflect within ourselves so that we are able to change and shift our perspective about the past connections that we've gone through, lessons that we've learned, to be able to kind of give us new insight, new awareness about how we want to move on our path moving forward, right? Not making the same mistakes or choosing different people, okay, is one of the messages that is here. So let's see what else. Pile number 1, we have she who listens. Okay, it says understanding, witness, and compassion. We also have emerald and milk thistle, and it says heal the healer, soul's truth, Atlantis, and emerald tablets. We have another card of compassion. We have rue with protection. And then we also have transcending karma. Okay, so what I'm noticing here is that you have 2 cards of compassion. And what I kind of feel for some of you that chose this pile is you may be a person who has a tendency to attract people who are wounded. Okay? And I feel it's because you are someone who has a really big heart, and you are someone who, when you love with everything that you've got. You put everything you have into those connections, and you feel very connected to people, of seeing the, like, wanting to see the best, giving the benefit of the doubt, regardless of what maybe red flags might be there for you. Okay? So what I'm kind of getting here is that there could be a need for you to learn moving forward, right? When you're looking for love, for you to learn how to set healthy boundaries and connections, okay? To make sure that you're not always the one that is putting in all the work, right? The people pleasing and the feeling the need to work out someone else's problems, meaning that you could connect with people who are wounded and you feel like, I can fix them, I can help them, I can heal them. And if I keep putting my energy towards this person, they're going to change, right? Some of you may have a tendency to fall in love with potential. Okay, and you end up missing those red flags. We also have heal the healer here. And I feel like you are someone who has very nurturing, very healing energy about you. And it's just wanting to help, wanting to heal. And so you might find that yourself is very attracted to that. So again, boundaries is going to be something that's very important for you. I'm also feeling with the heal the healer here is that there is a need for you to also work on healing yourself. Okay, a need for you to kind of give that same love that you're giving to another person. How about if you kind of work and give that energy towards yourself? Okay, there's also a need here with the protection for you to protect your own energy, right? Making sure that boundaries are not being crossed, that you stand up for yourself, that you find your voice, I feel like is also something important. Okay, because we have keep courage here and be gentle, right? You're courageous enough to be able to deal with or face certain conflict or challenges that are there, right? Without letting certain fears kind of hold you back. But it's also a gentleness that you bring. So it can also be tapping more into the energy of the feminine, which is also very nurturing, very loving, but also knowing when to set those boundaries. And the big message I feel like for you here is transcending karma, which means that you are looking to your past, right? Patterns of behavior, karmic type of situations, relationships, what have they taught you, right? Transcending karma means that you are changing in the way that you have dealt with things in the past, right? We're being able to overcome those karmic lessons, transcending the karmic cycles that we may have a tendency to kind of keep ourselves stuck in, right? Learning how to better protect your own energy is something that I'm feeling here as well, right? We can be understanding and compassionate towards other people, but it's also coming from a place of recognizing if someone is not really in alignment with us, that can we walk away? Do we know when to let go? Do we know when a person could be crossing certain boundaries? Okay, so I'm definitely getting an energy of needing to really work on healing the self here as well, and also holding compassion for yourself here as well. Okay, let's see what else here. I'm feeling like with she who listens, I feel like there's also a need when you're connecting with new people. Try to take some time to listen to what your intuition is telling you, okay, about the people that you're connecting with, or where your intuition is leading or guiding you, because that really is your compass here that's helping you to recognize certain things and connections, right? So that you're not overlooking them, okay, is what I'm seeing there. So let's see what else. Pile number 1. Those of you, like I said, that are single and looking for love, what is Spirit's advice on your love life? We have confidence, okay? So this can be working towards building up your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence in yourself, and what it is that you have to offer, right? Not taking less than you deserve. We have ascension symptoms. So many of you, as you are working towards this healing and changing and shifting of perspective, you may start to kind of notice different things that are kind of changing energetically for you, you know, and this is, I feel like it's really important for you to also kind of keep yourself grounded, because as you are transcending karma, you are helping to elevate and change your own vibration, right? So keeping yourself grounded. We also have confrontation, okay? Now confrontation, and we have the Five of Wands energy here. And I feel like this could be you confronting maybe certain patterns of behavior that you might have, certain shadow aspects of the self, certain things that you might need to be working on healing, even such as the inner child, okay? I feel like that heal the healer message is a big one for you, because like I said, I feel like you are people who kind of have a tendency to just kind of really feel drawn to people who are wounded, and like I said, falling in love with potential. You know, I can heal this person, I can make them change, I can this, I can that, and kind of overlooking those red flags there. We also have transformation. So working towards transforming yourself, I feel like is also going to be something that's very important, right? You're changing, you're learning, you're growing from your past experiences. You're taking that time that is necessary to kind of take a look back at what you have learned, okay? And then we also have invoking the divine. So this to me is also about you asking spirit, right, to come into, to help you, to assist you, to align with someone that is going to serve your highest good, right? To show you signs, but also to be open to receiving those messages, because they are going to be coming through your intuition, right? And so if you're asking spirit guides, ancestors, please help me, you know, in seeing what is best, or what is, you know, where I'm being guided to in terms of my love life, and pay close attention, right? To dreams, to signs, to synchronicities of spirit kind of leading you. So let's see what else is your guidance. Pile number 1, those of you looking for love, what is your advice on your love life? Pile number 1, what is your advice? We have destiny, and it says it is not in the stars, but in yourself. Okay, so again, leading you towards your destiny, the person you're ultimately meant to be with. Again, how important your inner compass is, right? And maybe for some of you, healing could be something that's helping you to remove blockages, so that you are tapping back into your intuition that is leading you towards the right connections in your life, the right people. Let's see here. Pile number 1. What is your advice, your guidance on your love life? We have replenish, and it says the sun will rise and we will try again. Okay, so if you feel like you've had a lot of challenges, right, within your love life, I feel like it's important for you to also take time for yourself in between, right? Dating, connections, taking time to really kind of restore your own energy. Okay, let's see what else. Nurturing the self, I feel like is important. Nurturing yourself. And then we also have breathe, and it says inhale stardust, exhale magic. Okay, so maybe for some of you, it's learning how to maybe stay more calm, more relaxed, right? Less anxious and nervous about connecting, meeting people. Learning to take your time. I'm also seeing trust at the bottom, and it says the light in you cannot be dimmed. Okay, which to me also speaks a lot of you not allowing people to take away from you. And if there's any connections and people that you're connecting with that make you feel that way, they're not the right one. Okay, connection shouldn't be something that's taking away from you and draining you. How do you feel? Pay attention to what your body is telling you and you're feeling around the person. Okay, to know whether or not that person is truly in alignment with you. I feel like it's also you trusting that your intuition is leading you towards the right person you're ultimately meant to be with. Sure, of course, we can have lessons along the way, but it's also trusting, right? Is this a lesson for me? Is this something that I meant to learn and grow from and move on from, right? So it's knowing when to let go. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for you. Pile number 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, Pal 2. So those of you that resonate with the Spiny Sister and the Red Jasper, this is going to be your reading. So those of you that are single and looking for love, we are getting some advice from Spirit today on your love life. So we're going to look at your tarot and then we will pull out your oracle messages. So let's see pile number 2. We have the Seven of Visions, which is the Seven of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Six of Spells, which is the Six of Wands. We also have the Seven of Challenges, which is the Seven of Swords. And then we also have the Eight of Challenges, which is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so I'm already kind of getting this energy here of... Some of you, I'm getting that this is holding on to connections from the past, and this is something that is keeping you stuck in. It could either be a fantasy, an illusion, a lot of not being able to kind of let go or move on from the past, okay, is what I'm getting for some of you. This could be a lot of obsessive thinking. Some of you, it's even, I feel like, with people who are not valuing you, okay, is one of the things that I'm seeing here. It's people who are not seeing your worth. And I feel like this is something that you might kind of get stuck in, okay? Because your message here says take pride in yourself, okay? And I feel like a lot of that is you needing to kind of see your own worth, your own value. And if someone is not putting forth that effort, right? The Seven of Cups is a need for you to kind of look to other opportunities, other options. For others of you, I'm seeing that there is a lot of negative thinking, okay? A lot of negative thinking in a way that it is something that could be self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging thoughts, keeping your own self stuck, okay? There's a lot of scattered thinking. Maybe for some of you, it's feeling very emotionally overwhelmed by options. The Seven of Cups is a card, yes, of options, opportunities. And not all of those opportunities that we have for dating are going to be good ones, right? We have to really kind of sort through illusion that people are kind of bringing forth, especially with dating now, which, and I remember one of my clients was telling me not too long ago, they were saying it's rough out there. It's rough out there in the dating world. Given so many people have taken on ghosting as a way to just kind of simply be very dismissive of connections. So it can be hard. It can be misleading. It can create definitely a lot of pain because sometimes we feel so connected to someone and then it's just cut off, right? We don't know what happened. And so I can see kind of like why we can get stuck with past. Okay, but for some of you, I'm feeling there's a need for really nurturing the self, a need for a changing out of an energy of negative thinking, right? Or even feeling the need to rush connections, rush into relationship, okay? I'm feeling a lot of it is like Spirit saying here, take pride in yourself, right? And what it is that you have to offer is something important. So let's look at your oracle cards. Let's see this one. We've got She Who Persists, and it says perspective, defiant, and also persistent. Okay. We have Jade and Pink Lotus with sink into silence with reflection and also tranquility. And then we have creativity. We have Angel's Trumpet with death. And then we also have energetic responsibility, which is more or less about you taking a look at your own energy. Okay, reflecting on your own energy, especially if you feel like the people that you're connecting with are not really in alignment with you. It's you also taking responsibility for your own energy. Now, what I'm kind of getting here, for some of you that are holding on to, let's just say certain people in your life that have created illusion for you, that have misled you, that have ghosted, that have blocked, that have just kind of led you down this path of uncertainty when it comes to your love life. Sometimes especially with the defiant here and persistent, sometimes we try to force, right? We try to force situations, we try to force love. And we end up connecting with people who are running away, right? Pulling away, detaching, avoidant, with that type of energy. Okay, with she who persists. Now, some of you, I feel like it could be a need for you to really kind of take some time to really reflect with inside of yourself, within your own energy, and recognize what your worth is, what your value, right? We don't need to chase. We don't need to force someone to choose us, to love us, to choose to be with us. Okay, so I feel like it's also recognizing, especially if you have people that you're connecting with that are keeping you kind of stuck in that energy, that you also kind of are responsible for your own energy, right? You are understanding when it's time to let go or to disconnect from a certain person. I feel like a lot of this is working on healing your feminine energy, but it's also making sure that you are at a place where you feel calm, you feel centered, you feel grounded, you feel balanced with inside of the self. Okay? Because I'm noticing the Seven of Cups here. The Seven of Cups can lead to confusion, to delusion, us not seeing things clearly, right? In which we kind of get caught up in certain situations with people, and we try to persist and keep going and miss the red flags. Okay, so with the sink into silence here, I feel like your message here, as far as your advice, is to take time to reflect with inside of the self, right? What is it about your energy, right? Is there something from childhood, inner childhood, that you're needing to focus on healing? Okay, now I understand all of you that chose this pile are not in that kind of situation. So I would feel more or less that with this message here, it's about you understanding that if you are kind of like in this place where you're feeling a little scattered, kind of thrown off, and your own energy is out of balance, that is where Spirit's kind of saying, let's pull it back for a second. Let's pull it back and let's kind of get ourselves grounded, right? And take some time to kind of work through these thoughts that might be creating a lot of confusion, right, for you. And tapping back into your own energy to see where we're needing to change things, where we're needing to grow, where we're needing to evolve beyond some of these limitations that are here. Okay, for some of you, it can even be a change or a shift in perspective, because sometimes we could feel like we're going out and we're dating, we're trying to date, we're trying to meet people, and no matter what we're doing within that energy, it's just not working, right? Sometimes we need to just kind of pull it back, take some time, ground ourselves, ground our energy. Is there healing that we need to do? Is there a change or shift in perspective? Are we self-sabotaging? Do we have self-sabotaging thoughts? Do we have self-limiting beliefs that we're going out and leading with that energy, right? When we are dating people, we can feel energy, right? We can feel the energy of another person. I have been on dates before where I was on a date one time with this guy that was so good looking. But as soon as he sat down at that table, I was like, something's off about him. What is wrong? So I'm looking at him and he's like looking at me, and we're having dinner together, and I just knew something's like, he's not over. I knew intuitively something's wrong. He's got some stuff he hasn't healed. And come to find out, maybe like half an hour through our dinner, he tells me that he just had a breakup with someone and that I looked just like her. And so I was like, okay, all right. So I knew, that I had to take some time to really reflect within myself, because it kept happening over and over and over again, where I was kind of dating the same person, just on a different date with someone else, right? It was all the same energy. So I needed to kind of take a look within inside of myself and say, okay, what do I need to heal within myself? Because there's some reason that I'm attracting this energy from people who are not healed. And I recognize I still have wounds to heal from my childhood. I still have things that I need to heal with inside of myself. Okay, so when we're feeling that kind of energy, that we're moving out into our dating life with that type of thoughts, right, that are keeping us stuck, keeping us trapped, we could be aligning with people who are avoidant, who run away, who cut us off, who ghost, right? So that's a need for you to take some time to really look and reflect within themselves, to do some inner healing, okay, to really work, I feel like, on your own transformation, because Spirit is bringing up energetic responsibility here. Okay, so that's really a need for us to kind of take a look at what energy we are going out and dating with, right? Especially if you're someone who just had a breakup, let's just say, and you go out and you try to date because the pain, and you want your, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to numb that pain of dating or losing someone, so you're trying to force yourself to move on, right? You're not emotionally available, right? You're not emotionally available. Haven't healed from something from the past. So this is where we have to kind of be responsible for our own energy and what energy we're kind of putting out there, which can help you to see, you know, am I not finding luck? Do I keep meeting the same person over and over again? Why is nothing changing? And we're trying to persist in that same energy, right? So this is when we pull it back, ground ourselves, bring about balance and stability with inside of the self. Okay? So let's see what else. Pile number 2. What is your advice on your love life for those of you that are single? Advice for pile 2. We have the inner child. Okay, and that's something we're seeing right there with the 6 of Cups. Okay, so healing your inner child healing work. Pile number 2. Right, for some of you, let's just say that you have a fear of abandonment. Okay, we have transformation. So that inner child healing is going to help you with your transformation. Okay, to change away from limitations and fears. We have, look at that, finding inner common balance, which is what I was talking about right there with that jade and the pink lotus. What is your advice, pile number 2, on your love life? We have ego captivity, okay? Which means that we're stuck in a place where the ego has taken control, right? With fears, with doubts, with insecurities, and we are kind of held captive, you know, by the ego versus intuition, right? Place of love. This ego captivity keeps us stuck in a place of fear, doubts, right? Insecurities, situations that don't really benefit us, okay? So it's about you kind of breaking free from that place of ego, okay? I'm just going to be able to help you there as well. Let's see. And then we have dream messages. So this is Spirit wanting you to kind of pay close attention to your dreams. Okay, sometimes the dreams can come through as warnings or things that we're needing to heal. You can also, with the dream messages here too, pay attention to what kind of dreams you're having, right? Are there unresolved things that are kind of being brought forth from the subconscious mind into your conscious mind for you to heal? Okay, especially if you're kind of dreaming of past people, past connections. Okay, we're not meant to just kind of obsess over, let's just say we had an ex 3 years ago and we still have feelings that are unresolved. We still have feelings that are stuffed down. And then all of a sudden we have a dream about them and we start obsessing and obsessing and obsessing, right? Take that as a message that there is something that you still have to heal and resolve about that situation. Maybe it's getting closure for yourself, right? And sometimes we don't always get that from the person, but we have to find that within inside of ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to feel our feelings, release them. Okay, we also have endings and beginnings here. So I'm feeling there's a need for you to also kind of pay close attention to things that you need to kind of move away from, connections that are not working, and be comfortable with letting go of connections and situations that are not serving your highest good. Okay, so let's see your last messages, pile number 2. What is your advice on your love life? We have boundaries. It says put a ring around yourself and your energies, right? So learning how to set boundaries with people. We have trust. It says the light in you cannot be dimmed. Okay, the light in you cannot be dimmed, and don't let anyone dim it. Don't let anyone who's not in alignment with you take away from you. Okay, taken away from that inner common balance that you feel with inside of yourself. We have thrive, and it says there's enough space for the moon and her stars not to tear each other down. Okay, so any of you that may kind of, I feel like, find yourself in situations where, kind of like what I'm saying, situations that are kind of taking away from you. Okay, and if it is that you that are kind of, you know, picking yourself apart, right, with your own thoughts, your own insecurities, things that you're needing to kind of work on with inside of yourself, okay, to help you to thrive in your relationships. Let's see. And we also have the moon. Take time to reflect, okay, inwards, which is what we're also seeing here. Sink into silence, reflection, tranquility, finding that inner calm and balance, okay? I'm also seeing dark side here, and it says don't hide yourself away. So to me, this is also about you facing your shadow for some of you, okay? Doing maybe the inner child, the shadow work may be something that's also very helpful for you when it comes to changing or elevating your own vibration, or even some things within inside of yourself that you might need to heal and work on, right? So that you can work towards elevating your vibration, which is going to change the people that you're attracted to and also that you are attracting. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for you. Pile number 2. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonate with the Fairy Harper, it says find the words to long forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul with this little yellow jasper. Let's see what your guidance is on your love life. This is for you, those of you that are single and looking for love. We're getting guidance from Spirit today on your love life. So let's look at your tarot first. We have the 4 of Visions, which is the 4 of Cups. We have the 9 of Visions, which is the 9 of Cups. We have the 7 of Boons, which is the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Council of Animals, which is Judgment. And then we also have the Folly, which is the Tower energy here. Okay, so starting off with your 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups energy can sometimes be when we are feeling really unhappy with our love life. We're feeling discontent. The 4 of Cups can also be when we are dealing with people who are rejecting. Okay, now this could be actively that you have gone through situations in which people have ghosted, just kind of made you, unrequited love situations, okay? And this can be something that does cause a lot of us internalizing a lot of those feelings and those emotions. The 4 of Cups can also talk about boredom, literally boredom. So it can even be that you feel frustrated with the people that you're connecting with, right? You feel like it's just not working. There's no opportunities that are available. There's no one out there. I'm not going to find anybody. So it's us feeling pretty low and sorry for ourselves. And sometimes this can even put us into a depression, right? Where we're not finding love. And so that can be something that is super frustrating, okay? Very frustrating. I know I've been there too many times to count. And then you have the 9 of Visions here, which is the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is about personal happiness, personal fulfillment. So for many of you, I feel like this could be a message for you to really work towards finding happiness within inside of yourself. First and foremost, okay, is to find happiness within you, which means that we're not looking for love to be something to fill a void that we have. We feel lonely. We feel, all of these things. When we can work towards a place where we feel happy and content with everything, right, in our life. We feel happy with our friends. We feel happy with our career, our job. Everything's going good, right? Our cup is basically full. It's overflowing, okay? We've reached that contentment and happiness and fulfillment within inside of the self, and meeting someone is only adding value, right, to our life. We're not looking for someone to fill that space, to make us happy, right? We're not saying, I will be happy when I'm in a relationship. I will be happy when I meet my true love. I will be happy when this happens. We have to feel completely happy within inside of ourselves, right? So for some of you, this can be a lot of inner work of maybe if you have been ghosted in the past, work towards releasing those energies that are there, right? Because that can really hurt, right? When we like someone and someone is just kind of turning us down, pushing us away, not really, returning the love that we're wanting to give, okay? That can be painful. So there is a need for you to kind of work through the healing with that energy here as well. With the Judgment card, it can be taking some time to think about what lessons we've learned, okay? Because that's really what Judgment is about. Judgment is about us looking to our past to see what we've learned, what lessons we've gone through, and how those things have taught us. And we can choose to then integrate those things that we've learned into becoming a better version of self. Okay? There's a lot of transformation that happens within the judgment energy. It's also forgiveness. Okay? Especially if you've gone through situations with the Tower energy here where there's been breakups, upheaval that has happened within your love life, things kind of falling apart. There's a need for you to kind of regain that balance with inside the self again. Okay? The Tower energy can also be like a huge epiphany, a realization, right? For us to grow, to transform. The Seven of Pentacles is also a message for you to be patient. Okay? And I understand some of you that leave in the comments sometimes like, wow, I've been patient. I've been single for like 20 years. Where is this love coming from? Like, where is it supposed to be? How come it's not here yet? I've already been patient. Okay? So I would say kind of go back to making sure that you feel completely content, completely fulfilled with the other areas of your life. Okay? For you to find that happiness from within inside of the self, that you are living your best life, you feel happy, and because this is changing your energy, your vibration, right? When we're sitting in the Four of Cups, not so good. There's a lot of missed opportunities. We can be turning down opportunities too, because we feel like, you know what, that's not going to work for me. That's not what I asked for. It's not what I want. Instead of us being open to see where that can go. Okay? And this is actually guidance that I gave to my daughter, my youngest. She's going to be 23. The youngest recently, because she's also really challenged, struggling with in the love department. Because she keeps finding herself in situations where people are unrequited situations, right? Over and over and over again. And without giving too much information, putting her on blast like that. But it's like that need for you to find happiness inside the self, right? It's a need to kind of find, that calm, that inner peace, that inner balance within inside of the self, right? If you're looking for a connection to give you peace or to make you happy, right? That's not the way we want to go about things energetically. So with the Seven of Pentacles, we have here, which looks like a bunch of different little doors here, right? So there's opportunities. And what I was kind of giving her as the guidance is that she's kind of repeating the same patterns of behavior that I'm sure most of us do, where we go after a certain type or a certain person, right? And we're just like, we're not even paying attention to the other people that are not matching with what we want, right? And there's a need for us to kind of keep our options open, keep our eyes open to the opportunities that are there, okay? Because a lot of this is about our perception, right? Like I said, we have a certain type, or we have a certain idea in mind, a certain desire that we have when it comes to a romantic partner, and we're not taking anything else into consideration. And that was also a really hard lesson that I learned in love too, because I had a specific type. I was only dating that type, wasn't giving anyone else consideration. And that ended up putting me in a really dark hole place where I was learning that all these people that I was trying to go after were not in alignment with me. They weren't what I needed. Okay? And sometimes this is a need for us to kind of just change things up and do something different. Okay? Because sometimes we have that idea and we think, and I, like, growing up, I had like this idea in my mind that I was never going to date this type of person, this type of personality, this type of something or other, right? I was never going to do it, not going to happen. And guess what happened? I ended up marrying that person, and I'm really, really happy with that. But you just kind of say, like, to yourself, you have to keep your options open. You have to be open, right, to receive whatever it is that is coming your way. Of course, take your time, be discerning. I'm also feeling that Seven of Pentacles, like I said earlier, is about patience, right? It's understanding that sometimes we can invest our energy into something and maybe it's not the best for us, right? Maybe there's a need for us to kind of shift away from that. Okay? The Tower energy to me is also about you releasing any of these patterns of behaviors, these thoughts, anything that is creating blockages for you, ways of thinking, maybe even rigid, right? Perspectives that are kind of keeping you held back. Okay? So let's see what else. We have chamomile here with inner peace, right? Which is what I said. You guys are needing to kind of find here. Happiness from within. We have guidance here. We have Labradorite and blue lotus flower with psychic gifts, and it says the wise sage, awareness, and a call to action. And then we have she who battles, justice, fierce, and also commitment. And then we have ancestral healing here. Okay, so again, we've got a message of finding inner peace. Okay, finding inner peace from within inside of the self. And I'm also getting, because we have guidance here, ancestral healing and the wise sage, and it says a call to action. And looking at this judgment card here, we have the whole forest here, which to me is you connecting in with your ancestors, your spirit team, to give you guidance, to, help you with healing, to finding alignment with inside of the self. Okay. I'm also getting with the justice, fierce, and commitment here as well. There could be for some of you a need to learn how to set healthy boundaries when it comes to connections. Okay, especially if you're someone who allows people to take advantage of you, or you're someone who's always giving and giving and giving and people are not giving in return, and you find yourself in those situations. Okay, the psychic gifts energy here with the wise sage to me is about you tapping into your intuition, right? And that can even be asking your spirit guides, your ancestors, for advice. Like, is this person in alignment with me? Does this connection serve my highest good? Those of you that are single, and there's no one around, then I would say it's more or less about you getting some guidance from your ancestors about certain, maybe ancestral things that you're healing, cycles that you're healing away from. Okay, especially if you're healing a situation from your ancestry or your family line in which you have found yourself in situations that are not really serving your highest good. Okay, so very important part of this, like I said, for you is about you finding that peace from within, right? Contentment, happiness, looking inside of the self for guidance, or even for what direction you're kind of wanting to go in life. Okay, what experiences you've had and what they've taught you, so that you can really help use these things as tools to help you to grow and transform and to come into alignment with who you really are, as a person. Okay, to me, this ancestral healing and the tower energy here is about breaking down old belief systems, anything that has been really kind of stuck with you, maybe as a pattern of behavior. Okay, so let's see what else. Pile number 3. Right, and I'm kind of looking at this energy here as if this person that you're connecting with, do they make your soul happy? Right? Do they really feel like they're in alignment with you? Or is it something where you feel like your emotional needs are not being met? Or maybe if you feel bored in a relationship, bored in a connection, and it's just not making you happy, you don't feel fulfilled. Okay? Knowing when to let go, knowing when to walk away, knowing when to release something. Let's see, pile number 3. What is your advice on your love life? We have dream messages. So many of you, this can be paying attention to your dreams, as this is also a way in which our spirit guides and ancestors communicate with you. Okay, so there could be bringing certain fears, right, out of your subconscious mind into your conscious mind for you to really work through, for you to heal, for you to be able to release here. We also have the sacred masculine. So for some of you, it can be healing, especially with ancestral healing here. Some of you could either be connecting to, and I'm seeing it a couple different ways. Some of you could be connecting with people who have toxic masculine energy, okay? Connecting with toxic masculines. And that could be a need for you to kind of really work on maybe even healing your own inner masculine energy, which is learning how to be assertive, learning how to set boundaries, learning how to stand up for what you believe is right or true, good for you. It can be healing your own masculine energy here, okay? And yeah, some of you, I'm getting this is healing the masculine energy within maybe even the family line, or if you have like parents, grandparents that have connected to toxic masculine energy, okay, which are not great situations to be in. It could be controlling, some forms of abuse and things like that, and so you want to kind of stay away. Are you finding yourself in those connections which there is people that you're connecting with that do have toxic masculine energy? Or is your own masculine energy something that is wounded and you're needing to really focus on healing here as well? Okay, so let's see what else. Pile number 3. What is your advice on your love life? And I would say also breaking away, right? From people who bring in that toxic energy. We have forgiveness here, which is a real way, because this judgment energy is about you releasing the past. Okay? This is basically where we look at all of our stuff we're holding on to, the burdens from the past, the pain, the heartache, the suffering. This is where we release it and let it go, right? So a lot of you elevating your vibration can be, of course, not only healing things from past connections, but also childhood, right? Forgiveness here, forgiving yourself, forgiving another person, okay? And so you're able to really release that energy to elevate yourself vibrationally. We have the third eye chakra, okay, which we're talking about guidance here, psychic gifts. Many of you have beautiful psychic gifts, okay? Intuition that is trying to guide you and lead you. So this can even be working on healing. Look at that, the throat chakra and the third eye. Speaking your truth, finding your voice, okay? Learning how to stand up for yourself. Okay, when it comes to connections, speaking what it is your intentions are, your desires are, and being confident in that. Okay? We also have changed directions. Okay? So for some of you, like I said, you could be connecting with a certain person, certain type, or being attracted to people that have toxic masculine energy. Okay? It can be you really working towards healing your own inner masculine, and that may be something that helps you to kind of completely change course when it comes to the people that you are connecting to. Okay, let's see here. Pile number 3. What is your advice on your love life? Manifest. And it says dream deep and ask for what you want. Okay, big difference between what our desires are and what it is that we truly need from a romantic partner. Okay, at the top of my list before when I was dating is it needed to be someone who was so hot. Someone who was hot, someone who was tall, someone who was a certain nationality, and it was like that was all that I wanted. That's it, right? But learning the hard way, going through those painful experiences, that sometimes those 3 things weren't always the most important, right? I needed somebody who was a good listener, someone who was compassionate, someone who was respectful, someone who was able to resolve conflict, someone who was able to be nurturing, right, when I needed them to be supportive, right? These are all the things that we don't think about sometimes, okay? So ask for what you want, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spirit team, but also taking into consideration, what do you need, okay, from a romantic partner? And also, I feel like standing your ground, right? Not taking less than you deserve, I feel like is another message for you. Being picky, being selective. We have take charge, and it says, don't wait for the stars to align. Reach up and arrange them the way you want, okay? Now, some of you could be just like single and not dating at all. You work 12 hours a day. You go from work or to home to work, back home again, and you don't date, right? This can also be you taking the lead, being confident enough to go up to that person at work to say, you know what, I think you're attractive and I'd like to go out with you, right? It is us getting away from that fear of rejection, putting ourselves out there, right? Meeting people organically, especially for those of you that don't like to date online, which I don't blame you, because it's rough sometimes, a lot of the time, okay? So you take charge, right? You decide who you date, who you connect with, you know, putting yourself in situations where you open yourself up to meeting and connecting with new people, right? Going to places where maybe you have a certain hobby, right? And you know that if you go to that event that is the hobby that you like, that you're going to meet people that are like-minded, that have the same interests as you. Okay, so it's you taking charge. Don't wait for it to happen, right? And just kind of come in. This can also be you taking charge, you kind of putting yourself out there. Okay, and if it doesn't work, then that one's not the one that's meant for you. Okay, let's see here. Pile number 3. We have courage, and it says, wish upon a star and release all limiting beliefs. Okay, so maybe for some of you, it's having more confidence in yourself, right? Knowing that what you have to offer, knowing that you are beautiful, knowing that you're handsome, knowing that you are someone who has a lot to offer. We also have the Sun, and it says rise to the occasion, right? So some of you are needing to kind of just learn how to put yourself out there a little bit more, right? Change things up. We also have boundaries here, and it says put a ring around yourself and your energies, okay? Protecting yourself, especially for some of you that have a tendency to connect with toxic masculine energy, okay? So I'm going to leave this here for you, pile number 3. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 4. Those of you that resonated with the carnelian and what is this? The Mandragora Mother. It says, find the secrets hidden in the brambles. Let me just move this over here. So let's look at your tarot. So we are doing this reading for the singles today. Spirit's advice, guidance on your love life, especially for those of you that are looking for love and are feeling like there's things that are just not aligning for you, okay? So this is Spirit's guidance for you on your love life. So we have the 6 of Boons, which is the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Spells, which is the 10 of Wands. We have the 9 of Boons, which is the 9 of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, which is the wise woman in this deck. And then we also have the 4 of Spells, which is the 4 of Wands. Okay. So let's take a look at your oracle. We have Valerian with acceptance. We have Stimulate with Guarana. We also have She Who Remains with powerful devotion and true worth. Wow, that is a very powerful energy there. And then we have Pixie Helpers and Green Aventuring, and it says not all wanderers are lost. It says clearing the way, luck, and opportunity. And then you also have Prisoner of the Past. Okay, Prisoner of the Past, which I see here with your 10 of Wands, okay? The 10 of Spells. So many of you, this can be looking towards releasing the things that you're still holding on to, okay? Because the 10 of Wands could really be when we're under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. We're holding a lot of weight from the past, and for many of you, it is holding on to that, okay? I'm noticing that in this 6 of Pentacles energy here, how this woman is kind of resting, and there's these beautiful little bunnies that are all gathered around her. And so the rabbits, bunnies, they to me are a symbol of fertility, okay? But I'm also getting a lot of the energy of the feminine. So for many of you, it can be taking time for yourself to rest, to heal, to kind of recharge your own energies, okay? With the Valerian energy here, this is also, which I'm seeing, there's Valerian here, which is more about being calm. And then you also have Stimulate here with Guarana, which are two very opposite, two very opposite energies. But what I'm kind of getting a need for here is, especially for those of you that are kind of holding on to stuff from the past, right? Things that you haven't been able to kind of let go of. Take some time, because I'm noticing here you have the 9 of Pentacles, which is about being single, okay? Being single, independent, working on your career, working on your finances, working towards you being in a very stable place, okay? And with the Valerian here with acceptance, for some of you, I'm getting this as you are working towards accepting, right, of not meeting the right person just yet, okay? Because we have not all wanderers are lost. Clearing the way for luck and opportunity. Now, what this means to me is that some of you, this part of your life right now, or what you've experienced being single and not being able to find love, is meant for a reason, okay? It is meant for a reason. And I feel like this is about you really kind of tapping into your own energy. Maybe for some of you, it is learning how to really truly see what your worth is and what it is that you have to offer, okay? Because sometimes you can find yourself in situations where people are not, right? They're not seeing your worth. They're not seeing your value, or you are undervaluing yourself by even holding on to situations from the past, or undervaluing yourself in a sense that you are someone who gives and gives and gives in connections, and you're not having people who return that same energy. Okay? Because the Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, equal give and take. Okay? Which to me is about you kind of accepting the time that you are single, but also using that time constructively, in that you are working on healing yourself, right? You're recognizing what your true worth is, what your value is within inside of yourself, and also working towards releasing, right? The baggage that we could be holding on to from the past. It's putting yourself in a place where you are giving to yourself, you're putting in work, right? And focusing on yourself. Because I feel like ultimately, once you achieve this place where you recognize what your worth is, you are in this higher vibrational state, right? And that is, in a way, clearing the way, right? We're clearing the way out of people, connections, karmic situations, lessons that we've had to learn, sometimes very painful lessons in love. But it's kind of with the High Priestess here. The High Priestess is an energy that is held in high regard, okay? Very high regard. She's also very wise, very knowledgeable, okay? So this can be a lot of learning that you've had through past experiences. And so it's you truly stepping into your power, understanding what your worth is. And sometimes that takes a little work, right? It takes a little bit of us really focusing on working on ourselves, you know, with healing and releasing things and accepting certain situations for what they are. Radical acceptance, right? Of certain situations from the past. Sometimes we have difficulties with breakups, right? And we hold on to that person's energy, and we're constantly thinking like, are we going to reconcile? Are we going to reconcile? Are we going to get back together? Are we going to this? Are we going to that? And it's hard for us to just kind of accept something as over, done, right? Getting the closure that we need. Okay? So it's about you recognizing that if spirit has kind of moved someone off of your path, it's us learning how to accept that. Okay? So practicing radical acceptance. And I feel like also understanding that your intuition is also one that is helping to guide you towards stable, harmonious connections. Okay? And sometimes if we're bringing our baggage with us, this can sometimes lead us to taking or accepting less than what we are deserving of. Okay? So I don't feel, for some of you that are kind of finding yourself in a place where you are single and haven't met the one yet, that there's something wrong with you, or that you're not good enough, or, you know, all of these things that we have a tendency to think. I feel like it's just kind of spirit giving you that time and space to be able to really work on healing yourself, releasing the past, and bringing about balance here, so that you are working yourself into this powerful energy to be able to have and keep, I feel like, stable, harmonious relationships, connections. When this card is talking about find the secrets hidden in the brambles, to me, these are things that you've gone through in the past, right? It's almost like spirit saying, find the lesson. What is the lesson in the things that you've learned in these things from the past, right? That you're being reminded of, that you're holding on to. Okay, so let's see what else here. Pile number 4. What is your advice on your love life? What is your advice on your love life? Pile number 4. Self-discovery. Okay, that's kind of what I was saying here. Is don't feel that because you haven't met the one yet, that it's not just going to happen for you. This is a time for you. It's kind of like a solo journey right now. You're discovering yourself. You're discovering who you are. Your true worth, right, is something that spirit is wanting you to focus on. So trust when it's meant to happen, right? It will. Let's see what else. Inner child. Okay, so for some of you, this can be working towards healing your inner child. We also have focus and discipline. Right? And to me, this is you learning to be more focused on self. Okay? That 9 of Pentacles energy here. We have belief and faith, which I feel like is you feeling a sense of contentment of knowing that when you're meant to meet the right person, the universe will bring them along when you are ready. Okay? all of our paths are different, right? We all are on different paths, different journeys, going through different experiences. We cannot compare our journey to anyone else's. So it's you having trust and faith in spirit, in the divine source, God, universe, that when you are meant to align with the person you're meant to be with, it will happen. Okay? You have faith and trust in knowing that it will. We have confidence here. Okay? So maybe it's working on your level of confidence within side of the self. And we also have the solar plexus, which is also energy of confidence here as well. Okay? This is you having your power, right? She who remains. Powerful, devotion, and true worth. Okay? Maybe for some of you, it is working on your solar plexus chakra to really kind of bring about you stepping into your power here, right? And finding connections that are going to be giving you the same amount of love, of time, of energy here as well. So let's see what else. Pile number 4. What is your advice and guidance on your love life? Okay, so we have courage here, and it says, wish upon a star and release all limiting beliefs. We have evolve. The cosmic potential flows through you. So I'm seeing this as you evolving into a better version of self. We also have trust. The light in you cannot be dimmed. We have the sun, rise to the occasion. And then we have morning star here. And it says, keep shining even when the others have quit. Okay? So to me, this is not allowing the thought or the idea of having not found your person yet to be something, like I said, that makes you feel like you're not worthy of love. You're not deserving of it. It's not going to happen for you. Right? All those negative things that we hold on to, those beliefs that we have. Okay? I'm seeing a lot of this for some of you working on healing the energy of the feminine here. Okay? Is going to be something I feel like very powerful for you. Connecting in, nurturing the self, learning to love the self, value the self. Like I said earlier, not taking less than what you are truly deserving of. Right? And trusting that the right person will come along when it is time. And for you to have complete trust, right? And believing that the right person will come to you. But yeah, self-discovery, I feel like, is a big message here for you, right? Not all who wander are lost. Clearing the way for luck and opportunity, which means something that's more in alignment with you, okay? Which is truly beautiful. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Pile number 4. I do hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you guys in the next reading.